was looking at the people around him. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, okay, let's look at another video. Trying to see who Dirk was really rocking with, man. Let's play this Trenches News. Hey, Trenches News, we need you, brother. Where you at?
You want to support me? Go to Nene Marie 37. But 800 likes on this video, I'm going live. All right, he ain't had no lawyer, and plus, you know, his daddy, they already knew that Dirk them lawyers. Anybody know that? Dirk, he used the credit card and shit. Dirk them, that's his way out. Vonnie did it. So Vonnie saying Dirk did it. You hear me? I already knew that was gonna happen. But before we get to that, we talking about OTF Jam. According to Marissa, which is Dirk attorney, says that Jam been to the feds, talking to the feds 30 times, 3 involving this case. And they saying that Jam is a killer, and you know, basically he did it on his own. He did it for Vaughn. You know, they gonna say that. That's what they gonna end up saying. He did it for Vaughn, and most of all these guys did something, and they did it on their own because they knew Vaughn just as well as Dirk. That's what I see. But the thing about OTF Jam is you was there. It's like a camera, man. You can't beat it, man. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Now we're going to go to Flocka. Flocka was another shooter. Jam was co-conspirator too at that time. Flocka was never a co-conspirator. He was never a co-conspirator because he had flipped or whatever. But Flocka, he's a shooter, and he going to testify not for Dirk, but he going to testify for Didi, saying that Didi hired him. So that's what they using Flocka for. And whoever he ran into and talked to, then a lucrative deal. Remember they said that Lil Durk had front row seats and backstage passes at Lil Durk concert. That's called lucrative opportunity. So that's what he gonna talk about. And then we got Vonnie, man. I told y'all the story about Vonnie. Vonnie knew that they was gonna blame everything on him. Vonnie used the credit cards. He went to go and handle the business, man, after him and Lil Durk flew on that private jet. So you know what Vernie did? He talked to his daddy, man, and you could tell through the text messages that I put out that he talked to his dad. He said, "You got everything under control, son?" He said, "Yeah, I'm trying to cop out to a 35, a 32 or whatever." And he said 5 to 7 years at the bottom of that. And he said he ain't trying to get no elbow like dude now. You hear me?
What's
So
good, Five?
Vonnie already was ready. Vonnie don't have a record, so they can't attack too much of a record. But they saying that Vonnie was his personal assistant, and that Vonnie, he did it on his own. He was like basically some kind of Vaughn, and he did it. He stole Vaughn music. If I'm reading it right, they saying that he stole Vaughn music. Now my whole thing is, Lil Durk shouldn't be in this. Period. If he stole Vaughn music, why is Lil Durk hanging with him? That's just like the same thing we said, and I need y'all to get in the comments and asking it, cause this real. Now the lawyer.
These guys, remember, Vaughn dying now puts a lot of Vaughn's right hand people like, damn, how we gonna make money? Of course, Dirk started fucking with some of them, but now they gotta make ends meet, and some of them are kind of like doing some predatory shit in terms of trying to take advantage of the fact that maybe they had unreleased music of Vaughn, and they're now trying to sell it or do other shit with it.
Why was Lil Durk still with him? If Baylo and them come out and the whole family come out and say Vonnie cleared out Vaughn bank account, why is you still with him? You hear me? So that was weird on Lil Durk part, man. But Lil Durk and them, they saying that Vonnie is the mastermind. Vonnie had the more of a motive to do it. Plus Vaughn, his family, I've been told y'all all this. So when you ask me, why didn't you go to court? Shout out to the people at court, though. Shout out to them bloggers that's at court. Attorney Jasmine and the guy Don, he hit me up. I don't know his whole name, but shout out to Mel. Shout out to all them who at court, bro. For real. They putting on for YouTube. They giving us what we can't reach, So they giving us. But I told y'all this, man. They gonna blame Vonnie as the mastermind. I told y'all that shit 18 months ago. All this, you know? So Yeah, they just Vonnie did it, man. Dirk should have listened to me the whole time when I was telling him Vonnie did it, man. You hear me? But they saying the whole time the phone call don't book nothing in my name. According to Dirk lawyer, they saying that text didn't have nothing to do with the plane. They said that was for booking the shows, and he was saying don't book.
Which, by the way, they might get away with that a bit. Um, uh, they might get away with that because, listen, it's frequent that celebrities might be like, "Yo, don't book the name, don't book the hotel room in my name." Why? You don't want people to be able to call there. Is Dirk Bank staying there? And then, they got the drop on Dirk. So a lot of times there's a way to book hotels in fake name, right? Like, so they're going to have a name there, but that's not going to be the name. Okay? So maybe he was reminding his people, hey, book some shit where they can't identify that it's me. Now, obviously, when it says don't book no flights under my name, you could read into it a lot more, but you could be like, well, technically, why would a flight be in your name, right? Like when we all know with flights, when you book someone, you can't even transfer flights. You can't be like, oh no, it's not my name, someone else. When you book a flight for, I don't know, Michael Smith got to get on that plane, right? So what's he talking about? The payment method. Don't book nothing under my name. Don't book nothing that's trackable and traceable to me paying for it. Don't book nothing where you got to put in my information to say I am the purchaser or it's my company. Now, granted, they still booked it under OTF. They use an OTF credit card, but the credit card, even though Dirk owns OTF, it wasn't Dirk's credit card. It's an OTF credit card, but it was a credit card for co-conspirator 3. So, like, for example, I've the company DJ Akademiks. I could get business cards and give it to my employees, and they could buy things that ultimately I pay for, but it's going to be the company pays for it, but it was purchased by this employee. So I think that's what they're kind of talking about, but they're trying to like spin it now to be like, oh, this was not about booking flights for the murder. This was booking maybe flights for an Airbnb, maybe it's for some other shit, but he was trying to just make sure no one could identify that it was him booking stuff because of his privacy, not necessarily because he wanted to kill people.
No flights under my name. So they saying that the feds got that wrong. But Lil Durk angle is to basically they blaming everything on his co-defendants that they did it in their own mind, their own right, and everything. So we gonna see. Now that's gonna hurt Didi now. Cause if you saying that Flocka, if you saying that Jam, if you saying that they did it on their own, and how did they get there? How did they get there? How did they know that Quando Rondo? See, they could talk a good game and make it seem like it's good, like they doing something good, but really they hurting Dirk. They hurting his co-defendants. His co-defendants saying Didi saying he wasn't there. So if you saying that Vonnie did it on his own, and Vonnie saying that Didi was in a car with me and we ain't hop out, we just trailed them, and Boogie, Jam, and Flocka and Brown ass, Boogie was driving, the other 3 hopped out. And they got down on Lil Pop and Quando Rondo and them, killing Lil Pop. You hear me? So they trying to say everybody, all this shit was in play on their own. But they used their credit cards, man, doing this, man. So, we going to watch this trial, man. We going to see, Lil Durk fans, they still got hope, even though they saying all these people. Now, it's weird that they saying...
Now, I want to keep reminding y'all, they're saying Lil Durk credit cards. I really have a sneaky suspicion that it's not Lil Durk credit cards. It's a company card. Durk owns OTF, so they're going to call it Durk's credit card, but it's company cards that's assigned to his employees, right? He assigns it to his employees. Now, here's the thing. The thing about when you deal with hood niggas and these niggas are wannabe criminals, none of them got a credit card. None of them got... Listen, I heard Charleston White say the same shit. Let me tell you this. I love my team, so no disrespect to them. If I show up to motherfucking a rental car spot and my car don't work, ain't no car getting got. Nobody got nothing. It's a reality.
And if you're a producer who hates sample credits, this plugin is for you. Drag co-producer on your master track, let it listen. It'll analyze your track's rhythm and harmony. It locks to...
And I think it's the same thing. These guys, Durk says, don't book it under my name. What they do, because they're not going to use, they don't have no regular credit card. The only credit card they got is what Durk gave them, which is an OTF card that's in their name. But it's an OTF card. So they said, all right, bet we won't book it under the OTF card in your name. We'll book it under the OTF card in our name. Here's the thing. Durk owns OTF. So it just comes back to them. The feds are going to see it.
That they had 35 people, which we know 15 of them is like ambulance, first responders, forensics, all that. Then 20 is substantive witnesses, right? And they only saying 3. So I guess they not gonna put out the paper. They not gonna put out the names. They not gonna drop the names in the paperwork. They just gonna out them during court. Or they might put the names in the paperwork, you know, tonight. Or they might, I don't know how they doing it, man. But they doing everything different. But that's Durk fight right now. Durk is blaming everything on Vonnie. Vonnie is the mastermind. I told y'all that. Get in the comments, man. If you remember me saying Vonnie did it. Hey, look, I appreciate everybody who support me, man. Everybody who rock out with me, bro. And
I want to give credit again. I think of anybody who have spoken on this topic, Trenches News has gotten the majority of what at that time we thought was speculation. He's gotten spot on for over 2 years. Whether he got it from listening to guys on the ground or he just put it together, he's done a phenomenal job. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm a bit shocked that everything he done said, it's all right. like everything he said was right. By the way, him and you know who? You know who else? FBG Butter. FBG Butter. He put this shit. This is before Durk even got charged. He was doing interviews and dropping heavy hints to say, why is Durk not charged? He's like, remember when the O Block 6 got caught? He said, yo, they're wrong about people ran up in their house and caught him. They got caught, the O Block 6, they got caught at a private jet hangar. Vaughn is dead. They got caught at a private jet hangar. Who could put these guys in a private jet? Durk. How come everything is happening? But listen to him. I'm going to speed up a little bit.
I'm sorry for your loss, man. I like that.
And I'm going to be honest with you. This is why I've been leaning on FBG Butter. FBG Butter and Trenches News. I'm not saying Butter is a cooperator. Is he? I don't think he is. Trenches News did cooperate with the government and whatever. But, like, their insight on shit, I don't know if the government told them some shit, but these niggas be knowing. Listen to this.
You know, I mean, I've always said it. I didn't get to hang out with him like that, but I did interview him twice, and he seemed like a good dude.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, man.
But Duck one on Tuga, Duck one a motherfucker that you put $250K on. Sorry. Or $100K. Duck, he won the killer game. Who putting that much money on a motherfucker who ain't never killed nobody, game? It wasn't, but in real life though, let me drop these jewels. It wasn't about the killing. It wasn't about the street shit with Duck. Duck was a fucking threat, gang, with the music. For real, for real. Now listen to this though. Duck finna get ready to get signed with Rap A Lot, right? Jay Prince coming to get ready to sign Duck.
Okay.
He getting ready to take Duck out the Sony deal because he telling Duck, showing Duck, oh man, this deal, they got you on a fucked up deal, shorty. I'm finna get you out this fucked up deal and give you a bigger bag. On Tuga grade, and they knew if that boy got that money, a lot of shit was gonna change. If that boy got that real key to the industry.
So he's talking about Duck here.
He
all right, watch him talk about Durk though.
Group chats don't say butter, but motherfuckers ain't talking about how they people, the motherfuckers who they locking the gates for David, or opening the gates, whatever they doing for King David upstairs, right? Them is the motherfuckers who came and got out on them boys for real. Them is the motherfuckers who gave them boys text messages, group chats, to they people. Not not my side. My side, how the fuck we gonna get our hands on these type of information? Right? Everybody arrest video coming out from when they got arrested for this Duck case.
Yeah.
They ain't show Moowop yet. Or C-Murder's happened. Have y'all saw Moowop or C-Murder go to jail on camera yet? Because everybody else involved in that case arrest footage is on camera. No bullshit. Y'all ain't seen watch to see murders, have y'all? Y'all wanna know why?
Why is that?
Because they got locked up with the fucking informant himself. On Tuka, shorty. They got locked.
Very interesting. So he, at the time, so remember, there's been two big federal indictments. One that came out at O Block 6, that was the death of FBG Duck at the Gold Coast in Chicago, which is the downtown area. They killed someone, or they killed Duck while he was shopping at a high-end luxurious clothing store, which I think is Dolce & Gabbana. The feds got involved immediately. They indicted 6 people. It was alleged that Vaughn was going to get indicted on similar charges on some murder for hire shit, except Vaughn died. Okay? There was rumors that it was not only Vaughn, but Durk, but they didn't really connect Durk too much. Vaughn is out the way, and what happens is, according to FBG Butter, he's saying the feds been starting to crack people, They've been trying to flip people and starting to get cooperants and informants. And that's how they were built. Like, since Vaughn is dead, they said Vaughn was going to be locked up. But since Vaughn is dead, they start working their way to Durk. Okay? Hear how he puts it together. And he's a little bit conspiratorial, but can't lie. Like, he's kind of making a little bit sense in hindsight.
They ain't show Moowop yet. Or see murders happening. Have y'all saw Moowop or see murder go to jail on camera yet? Because everybody else involved in that case, arrest footage is on camera. No bullshit. Y'all ain't seen Moowop or see murders, have y'all? Y'all wanna know why?
Why is that?
Because they got locked up with the fucking informant himself. On Tuka, shorty. They got locked up with the FBI biggest informant, gang. Think about it. They got snatched off a private jet. Dude, them niggas ain't even had no real good ass lawyers. How the fuck you think they paying for a private jet, gang?
Well, right
Vaughn
after
did. Vaughn did.
Vaughn had what?
Vaughn is dead, right?
Okay, well,
How the fuck is these niggas paying for a jet?
at the time, yeah.
Who the fuck got a jet fueled up and got these boys flew to Chicago in 5 hours? Who got money to do that? They ain't got no jet money, gang.
I don't got jet money.
Come on, bro. Them boys got snatched at the airport on a private hangar. Come on, bro. Stop playing. Think about it. They called Durk, hey, you get them fucking guys here. We're going to come get you with them.
So, obviously, in his original story, he thinks Durk was telling, but he was saying it was just interesting that the O Block guys get locked up on a private jet, and a jet that most likely Durk paid for. Okay?
Because just like the evidence they had on Shorty, and they had on Durk too, that you just paid to get your fucking brother killed. How you not in jail?
No, not his brother killed. Even though I think FBG Butter kind of goes into this theory that Durk wanted Vaughn killed, which is cap, clear cap.
We ain't talking about this shit. This shit just ain't happening in our face, huh? Guess what, bitch? Bugs Bunny back again. The rabbit got the gun, and I know what I'm doing with this bitch, bro. Y'all quit. Now, seriously, though. This is a real fact, though. Really think about this. Who the fuck you know name get brought up and with actually proven facts that you done paid me some money to go kill a motherfucker. And I done killed the wrong motherfucker, too. You didn't.
Okay, so now he's corrected it. So he's actually talking about the D thing murder, where it was now already coming out. Look, this was a year ago, 2024. Remember, in 2023, they catch the guys who killed Stephon Mack. And in those paperwork, remember, the whole hood was like Stephon Mack got clapped because D thing died. You had Durk, who's rapping about it, about him getting clapped as well. So the whole hood know that nigga dying is because of D thing. When the feds indict them and the paperwork comes out, it actually says individual A gave them money. So Butter is actually accurate here. He's actually looking at it, he's like, so you're telling me that Durk is already being accused by the feds of paying people to kill people and nothing's happening to him, but everybody else is going down. That's kind of his demeanor.
Oh, seriously though, this is a real fact though. Really think about this. Who the fuck you know name get brought up and with actually proven facts that you done paid me some money to go kill a motherfucker, and I done killed the wrong motherfucker too. You didn't pay me to kill. I done killed the wrong motherfucker for me to turn around and go kill the right motherfucker though. But you.
So there was rumors that after D Thing died, Durk authorized a few killings, and not all the first, like one of the killings was one of the killings was not related to the actual murder, so they got the wrong guy. All right, give me 1 second. We might have something. Give me 1 second. Okay. All right. Chat. You're not going to get a better breakdown of this shit other than here. You're not going to get a better breakdown of this shit other than here. And when we show up to the trial, we break it in net. I'm sorry. We break it in net. I'm sorry. This is just day one on a humble. We got 29,000 people, almost 30,000 people in the building. We're covering this shit daily. So if you're on the East Coast, daily around noon, get your ass on here. We're going to be live. If you're on the West Coast, 9 o'clock, tune in. Chat, do y'all want, we have a possible guest. Do y'all want Mama Duck in the building? Mama Duck is around. I've never spoke to her before. We all have to acknowledge the interconnectivity that's with all these situations. Okay? From the murder of FBG Duck. 2 months later, King Von gets killed. It's a lot of people who died afterwards. Mama Duck was also very outspoken when it was about the O Block 6. She's recently spoken about Durk. Remember when she actually publicly scolded Durk? She publicly scolded Durk about keeping her son's name in his mouth. And Durk responded on a song.
Now he want to get high as fuck. He about to get high like Duck. Durk.
Durk hurt because V-Roy gone. He hurt. V-Roy.
Well, he better take that shit who made the V-Roy gone, not my motherfucking son, because he ain't do it. Remember they had a song together. Remember they had their differences. Motherfuckers study one for the industry. This is proof. Y'all really showing, y'all rich out mixing in my motherfucking son. Y'all rich out mixing in Tuka. Show your craft. Do something else besides this and music. Show motherfuckers that you really could go pop like my son was trying to do. He was trying to cross over.
Okay, we're going to come back to this in a second. Shout out to my man Bradford Cohen. Bradford Cohen, you know, we need you soon. Maybe not today, but we're going to need you eventually. Bradford Cohen is chiming in. Everyone's trying to switch the narrative. They're calling Durk a rat. He has done a video on this. Is Durk a snitch? Remember, I said, in my opinion, this is what's called a alternative. This is a alternative narrative defense, which means whatever the prosecutor is claiming you did, you're saying the facts and the evidence that they got could match someone else. Now, in the streets, some people believe that if you even implicate, if you bring up someone else's name, even if it's to say, oh, they could have done it too, that's snitching. Let's hear it from a lawyer, a highly reputed defense lawyer, Bradford Cohen out of Florida. Listen to what he says.
Okay, let's talk about Little Durk update. Here's what's interesting about this case is the headlines today are Durk snitches on Vonnie, which me personally, I'm sure there's a lot of snitch experts out there. I've been doing this for 30 years, so I think I know a snitch or two. Did you like that, Jackson?
Snitch around and find out.
Snitch around and find out. Long story short is, what they're saying is Durk is essentially blaming everything on Vonnie. He's essentially snitching on the snitch, which to me doesn't make any sense. This guy Vonnie went in. I guess he was Durk's right-hand man. He went in and spilled his guts, said that he bought tickets. He drove around with these guys, took pictures with them, showed them where to go, bought the guns, all these other allegations that he admitted to. But he says, but Durk made me do it. And Durk and trial is saying, hey, I don't know what this guy's talking about. He takes the blame for all this stuff because rightfully so, that's what he did. I didn't have anything to do with it. I didn't pay anybody. I didn't tell him to do that. That was none of my business what was going on with this guy, Vonnie. That's what he's saying. So in my book, that's not a snitch. But like I said, there's going to be experts out there, non-lawyers, jailhouse lawyers, all these guys.
Here we go. Remote.
Yo, hold on. Let me merge. Mama Duck.
Okay. Hello.
Yo, you hear me?
Well, I can hear you. I haven't heard her yet.
Yo, Mama Duck.
Yeah.
Mama Duck, this is Akademiks here. We're on a live stream. I'm very glad that you had some time to call in. I appreciate you.
Oh, you're welcome, Ak. How are you?
I'm good. I wanted to, and I thought it was very important. You know, I think this is one of the biggest, obvious cases that's come from Chicago. It's very consequential, but we need everybody's opinion, especially the people who have lived it, the people who have, seen and, experienced some of the best or the worst from, all of this situation. And to me, it was important to have you on. I just want to start out by just asking you, Lil Durk currently on trial for the murder of someone that's not from Chicago. His name is Lil Pop. However, we all know Lil Durk's history with Chicago. Notably, he has a song dissing your son called "Should've Ducked." Right? There's been a lot of back and forth from even his former friend that passed away, King Von. And everything. When you see this type of trial happening now, even though it's not connected directly to your son or connected directly to a situation dealing with your son, what's your overall thoughts? I've seen a video of you recently, but I wanted to hear it from the horse's mouth.
Well, my thoughts about what's going on. You really want to know my thoughts, Ak?
No, I do.
Because I see everybody in your chat, you know what I'm saying, and it's feeling a type of way because you wanted me on here. That's sad. That.
Well, okay, I'm glad you see that.
Same people.
Why don't they? Why are they upset about that?
The same people. Because I'm going to tell the truth, and I'm going to point out a lot of shit, and that makes sense. That makes sense, but the same people who sent them off is the one saying free them and doing all this shit because it was just stupid. It was stupid. You know what I'm saying? My son is actually being compared to them.
Okay.
Like, I just don't see how these people can compare my son to him when his actions are proven. I'm still trying to see. I want a motherfucker to say Doug did anything to them so I can shut the fuck up.
Okay, and this might be a tough
question.
question.
I can shut up.
This might be a tough question to ask you because obviously it's your son and like the things we're hearing Durk being accused of, just respectfully, but I do want to ask you straight up. Are you trying to say that your son has never been accused of, putting hits on people, getting people killed. Because I think that's where they might look at you and be like, hey, you're being a little bit hypocritical. Your son wasn't an
Where's
angel.
the proof at? Where's the, you name one person in the industry from their side who duck shot at or had killed? Why ain't nobody came out? They telling on everybody else. Why ain't nobody saying shit about that? Come on, Act. You know something I don't know? Let's be realistic here. You know something I don't know? Even them people, if they do their homework, the man said out his own mouth he ain't never did shit to them, but this they did, people. Right? Can you vouch for me that Vine said that out his own mouth?
No, he did.
He never did shit but this they people. So you heard it from the horse's mouth. It wasn't about no mother. Like, I lost my son, right? And O-Block allegedly did it. And that was in 17.
Wait, why do you say allegedly? We saw the trial, and I saw you comment on the trial. There was convictions. Why do you say allegedly?
I'm talking about Brick right now.
Oh, okay. I apologize. Okay.
When Brick was killed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't that been a reason for that boy to just crash out and just do dumb shit? Academic, come on now. Just let's be realistic about this shit. And that's the truth. That's the truth. Nobody want to admit. This is all I got to say, Act. I don't wish jail on nobody. But I'd rather say free you than RIP you, okay? And my condolences goes out to Lil Pab's family. Like, what about them? What was Lil Pab being in besides one tweet? He deserved what he got. This is the type of audience that is actually a bunch of heartless, lifeless. But what if it was in their shoes? What if they was in a position?
So let me give you the pushback a bit, right? Because obviously we got to try to have a good discussion. So they would say, or I've heard people say, well, here's the issue. Mama Duck is acting like her son was a saint, and that he didn't contribute to some of the violence, whether hyping it up. He was super involved, even if maybe he didn't.
Yes, he did contribute to the music and the hyping and the dissing. We're talking about killing and paying motherfuckers to do it. That's what we're talking about. Because they did the same thing. They did. Then they do the same thing. Duck ain't take it that far. And ain't no motherfucking troll finna make me agree with some shit. Hell yeah. Hell yeah is that. He knocked motherfuckers out. Motherfuckers ain't play with him. I even heard he robbed a couple of people. But I'm talking about killing and paying motherfuckers to do it. That's what's going on. Hell no, he wasn't innocent. At all. What the fuck? Y'all, that's just like a motherfucker robbing the store. To buy drugs versus to rob a store to feed their kids. Come on now, y'all can't compare that motherfucking shit. Fuck up out here. And
what's your, I remember watching, obviously you went through and seen how the trial ended for the O Block 6, right? And what I did notice with you, I felt like you wanted justice, not revenge. When you see what's happening to Lil Durk right now, obviously it's not directly connected to one of your sons in terms of the charges, but clearly there's a history there. What's your true understanding or demeanor or feelings towards Lil Durk?
I don't have no feelings towards him.
Do you want him to? Do you want him to be innocent?
The same way he felt about my son and me. Did he care about my feelings when he made shoulda duck? Like, it ain't like my son had nothing to do with Vine or D-Thing. So why should we have had to suffer and his kids got here like this? What I'm worried about, the motherfucking kids. That's my concern. But don't nobody care about that. Because they praise the killer and the motherfucker who paying the people. But that's the type of shit y'all praise. But like I said, vengeance is mine, said the Lord, okay? I don't want nobody. I don't want another mother feeling like this. And they can do what they want to do with that. I don't care. Can't nobody make me out to be no motherfucking bad person. And I'm a mother advocating for my deceased son. Fuck them. And fuck everybody in your chat that think otherwise.
Yeah.
Them the motherfuckers God gonna put in my shoes and see how they handle it if they ain't already been through it. But guess what? We ain't gonna know about it because they have some nobodies. Some 9-to-5ers, just like 6ix9ine.
Let me ask you, because you've been in the position where like Lil Pop's mom and by the way their family's been showing up to court. How was it for you? You know, you were the first person that actually told the internet like, hey, listen, the police told me that they're nearing arrest, and we saw that was true. How did you go through it with dealing with the pain, the loss? You know, you've lost other children as well, but how did you go through that? And you know, did maybe the verdict, knowing that those guys, you know, they're subsequently not gonna come home, did that make it a little bit better? We just saw, I don't know if you saw Gilly's video, but Gilly video addressed parents who lost children, and you know, for him, you could tell he's broken over it. How have you taken that? Did you feel a little bit of justice? Like fuck them niggas, like they're not gonna come back, or what? What do you think?
I don't feel sorry for neither one of them motherfuckers who was brave enough to go downtown and shoot somebody in broad daylight. Just like I don't give a fuck about nobody who jumped out of a car at a gas station. Could have blew everybody the fuck up. Just senseless. Don't make no motherfucking sense at all. It's sad. You know what I'm saying? And for a motherfucker to try to say like that boy was brought all up in my motherfucking trial, evidence was shown that D-Thing sent $5,000 to the boy that got. See, you ain't a motherfucker on this chat was in that trial.
Wait, hold on. Wait, no. I'm glad you said, because I did hear there's some rumors. So from what you saw in that trial,
it's not a rumor. It's not a rumor. It's the truth.
Okay, speak on it. So you believe D-Thing, Durk's brother who got killed, actually put money on your son? You don't think that, do you?
He said Paul $5,000 cash out from the phone that Fat had on her line. Yeah. He sent them that. So it's a lot going on, okay? It's a lot going on. And that shit gonna come out. Y'all ain't seen shit yet. Huh. Y'all ain't seen a motherfucking thing yet.
Wait, what does that mean? Because, like, I think a lot of us, even me, I'm looking at this, I'm like, this is almost like the end. I think this got to be the end of so much of this, you know, like, if it goes down how the feds wanted to, they're closing chapters. They're not, like, this is not like, oh, the middle of the series, this is over. It's they're getting everybody out the way. Do you still think there's more to come, whether the feds or, you know, just other people being held accountable? What do you think?
Well, if I'm not a lawyer, but shout out to Neil. I just feel like when all this shit over with, I think more Rico's gonna come. So much shit gonna be tougher.
Wait. Could you repeat? You said when you think this is over, you said what?
It's gonna be more Rico's coming.
Really? Why do you think that?
Just sit back. Why I think it? Because unless everybody that was gonna be mentioned in this trial get immunity, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
They gonna get their ass. You don't think? Ain't that how they work? Ain't that how they work?
Wow.
But see, motherfuckers done watch too much power around this bitch. This ain't no TV series. This is real fucking lives. People, real lives is at stake. And everybody think it's a motherfucking joke. Y'all say free him, but I say justice for Lil Tab.
So if Durk got sentenced to life in prison, would you, because I know some people from Chicago, they have looked at his success and they say, you know what, even if we didn't like him, he was a positive, at least with his career. It was a good look for Chicago. If he gets sentenced to life, will you have any type of, not necessarily sadness, but be like, man, empathy. I guess empathy is the right word.
Hey, let me tell you something. My empathy goes to them babies. My empathy goes to his wife. My empathy goes to his mother and his father. Okay? Like I say, God has the last say. Whatever happened, it was God's plan. Just like Doug died, just like Von died, it's part of a plan, right? It's all part of a plan, baby. And to know that you have the world in the palm of your hand. And allegedly, nothing that he did brought nobody back who he was doing it for. Right?
Mm-hmm.
It only made it worse. It only made it worse. Like I say, to have now, of course, let me put this out here. I listen to